Hello, this is Quyn and welcome to Quyn Lê Empowered Living channel. Today I would like to talk to you about the iPhone's accessibility for blind and visually impaired users. I started using iPhones in 2014, and I have to admit prior to that it took me a few years to really decide to go from Nokia to iPhones. And I have to say, I would not look back since then. I really love iPhones because Apple has made it very accessible for people who are blind and visually impaired. There is a built-in built-in application in the iPhones that's called VoiceOver. People probably typically think that's Siri, but actually Siri is very basic. It's not enough for blind people and visually impaired people to navigate around different applications of the phone. So Siri, I could use it to ask questions, check weather, send a simple message, read a message, make a phone call. That's about it really, right? Whereas the VoiceOver, we blind people could use it almost just like sighted people. So that's really cool. And prior to that, I was using Nokia and a Nokia smartphone. So we could install like a voice software on it so we could use it. But the problem was whenever I had to change my phone, I would have to buy a new license for the software. And sometimes the software may not be accessible for the new phones, and it's just such a hassle. Whereas with the iPhone, it's all out of the box. So all I have to do is I can say, "Hey Siri, turn on VoiceOver."
VoiceOver is already turned on.
Right, because it's already turned on for me. So, but for those who not sure how to turn on VoiceOver, just ask Siri to turn it on for you. Now, I have it set up on my phone so that when I triple press on the home button, then the VoiceOver will go on. So it's like this. VoiceOver off is set. And so you can see the screen and VoiceOver back on, right? So you can set up a shortcut like that. And the nice thing about the iPhone is that because we don't need the screen, so we can actually turn up the screen to save some battery. So I have to do, using my 3 fingers, I go 3 times. And so right now you see the screen is off and the screen is back on. So typically for me, I'll go, but today I'll leave it back on so I can show you what I use the iPhone for. The one thing I have to say is with Apple products, they provide for you free support. Free technical support, specialized for people with disabilities. And they're very professional, they're very nice. I've called that many times. Even on Boxing Day, I had some difficulty with my phone and I called them and they were really helpful. And that's amazing because when you think about it, Apple has a big market already. They don't have to care about people with disabilities, but they create what I call universal accessibility. And they even support that accessibility by providing technical support, and so that's really wonderful, you know. And it took me a few years to change to iPhones, but because I just could not imagine how do I use the phone with just one button. I just could not imagine using the touch screen that I could do a lot of things on the iPhone. It's unbelievable. And so I met with a friend, and he was in his 50s, and he lost his sight like 20 years before, right? And he was able to navigate around the iPhone. This was in 2012, 2013. So I thought to myself, if he was older than me and he lost his sight much later on and he could use the iPhone efficiently, why can I not do that? So I decided to switch. And in the beginning, it was tough for me, maybe the first few weeks, but pretty soon I figured out, and then I went online and listened to some podcasts from blind and visually impaired people, listening to some YouTube videos, lots of great tips out there. And so it doesn't matter what iPhone. So I started out with iPhone 6, now I use iPhone 8, but my husband has had iPhone. Oh no, actually I started out with iPhone 5. My husband has had iPhone 7, iPhone 10, 11. So it doesn't matter what iPhone. They all would have voice over software. And that's the wonderful thing about it, that you can use out of the box. So I can use the iPhone to read my email. Hopefully you can see that. So this is an email that belongs to association that I belong to for counselors. So I'm going to click on this. I mean tap, not click. And then will read to me.
January 8th, 2021. STAR members, news, information, and resources related to COVID-19 and your practice continues to be updated. Here, please ensure you continue to check this page regularly. We are dedicated to...
Okay, so that's just a demonstration. Now, because it's an email application, so I have set it up so that it will automatically slow down the voice for me. But
Inbox. Back button. Inbox.
Let me show you what kind of things I use for iPhone. So there's...
Toolbar. Toggle filter.
Hang on, I gotta get to home.
Clock. 6:40 p.m.
That's the clock. I use it for, to set timer, set the time.
No one read emails.
I use it for email, messages, phone, and in the phone, then contact. I can still add and delete contact, share contact. Voice Dream Reader. That's the software that I use to read audiobooks. Because the software allows me to navigate books chapter by chapter or headings or by pages. So it makes it a lot easier to find information. And that's specifically for people who are blind and visually impaired. Appointments. So I use this as a Square, an application called Square, and that's how I get my clients to pay me and then I can book appointments for them. They can book their own appointments. I love the Square software. If you have a small business like a private practice or a small store or whatever, that some kind of service that you provide, Square is really great. And the wonderful thing is it's free. I love that it's free. I mean, it would charge you some percentage when you let clients pay you by credit card. It would charge you anywhere from 2.65% to 3%. Fantastical. Oh, I love this software. Okay, my hand's getting tired. Fantastical is a software where people who are blind and visually impaired, they can book an appointment simply by dictate. And it's more robust than, say, Siri. I could say, Siri, book an appointment tomorrow. It might do that, but sometimes it's not always accurate, and sometimes you cannot customize. So I press the microphone button and I'll say, dog grooming, November 10th, 9 a.m., 3 hours.
Dictate and inserted dog grooming November 10th, 9 a.m., 3 hours. Dictate dog grooming November 10th.
So then you see it populates. It say there, dog grooming November 10th, 9 a.m. for 3 hours. So it will populate everything on your calendar. And so that way it's a quick way to book something, but yet you also can customize it. I don't tend to have my voice as fast, but some people, some visually impaired people, they have the voice very fast. They can listen. And people it's amazing. Some blind people in Vietnam, sometimes people in Vietnam, they can use voice software in English though, even though they're Vietnamese, but they use in English and they can listen so fast because it's not necessarily that they understand the words, but it's more they understand from association. Okay, so and then so other thing I use is Google Calendar, fantastico. This software IEMDR, that's the software that I can use to do EMDR, to do self EMDR for myself. It's a therapy technique that people really use it for things that emotionally upsetting or disturbing to them. And maps, I love using map. Often, you know, when my husband and I would drive somewhere, I would be the one navigating for him. I would be the one talking to Siri and so on. And so I love the map software.
Notes.
And Note and RBC, I can do online banking with my phone. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And Safari, Internet, and Scotiabank, that's another online banking with Scotia that I do.
Settings.
I can also change the different settings. I'm pretty particular, so often I go into settings to change different things.
Translate.
And translate, I love Google Translate. That's how I've been learning Spanish. Or I can even translate certain things into Vietnamese. Or someone send me a Vietnamese text, I don't know how to read it. And so I would translate that into Google Translate. So it's really great.
Purpose.
And verbals, I think it's called. And that one is a verb conjugation that I use for to learn Spanish verbs. And weather and YouTube. Yeah, so I use a lot of YouTube on my phone. So now I'm going to go
Clock. 6:55 p.m. Page 1 of 3.
to the next page. And I just want to show you all the apps that I can use, that sighted people can use. And that's what's really exciting about it. That it's free for blind people because it's built in, but it's also accessible. And so I can use the Amazon app. I love shopping on Amazon.
Auto silent.
And Auto Silent is a software, is an app. I keep saying software. It's an app that I use to so when you have when you link that to a calendar, and when the time comes, then your phone will automatically turn into a vibration mode. So in case you forget to turn off the ringer and all that, so it will do that for you automatically once you link it to a certain calendar. So not all events would do that, but I set up so that events on my private practice calendar or event on my work calendar, it would automatically turn my phone into vibration mode. And when the events finish, the vibration mode will go off and the ringer will go on again. So that's really nice thing about that. Another thing for me, because as a therapist and who is blind, I often, it's kind of, I often don't check my watch, right? Especially when I'm focused. And so the Auto Silent app will beep. Well, it won't beep, but it will vibrate when the appointment is done. So that's kind of to let me know, okay, so the appointment is done, so I'm going to try to wrap up. Camera, I don't use that so much, as you can imagine.
Drive.
And Google Drive, I use that as well.
Lines.
Especially at my work, they often share files. That's to explore different files on your
My account.
phone. My account, that's for Fido. Podcasts, I can totally do that too.
Reminder.
And reminder.
Skype. Sheets.
Sheets, that's Google Sheets.
Skype.
And Skype. And Tubi. Tubi is really a great app because you can get, you can see a lot of movies on there. They have short commercials though, but a lot of movies on there. It's really nice one.
Tune in radio.
And TuneIn Radio, that's so I can listen to different radio station.
Voice memos.
And voice memo, so I can record voice. WhatsApp, well, you know, a lot of people knows WhatsApp. That's a video application. Yes Style. I like to shop skincare products from Korea, and so Yes Style is a great shop to do that, to buy authentic Korean skincare products. And YT Studio. So that's the one where I used to edit certain YouTube videos. And Zoom, I can use Zoom on the phone. And you see, so that's a lot. And there's App Store, Best Buy, I use that sometimes. Ira, oh, that's a great app for people who are blind and visually impaired. What it does is that when I'm not, like say when I drop something in this office and I don't know how to find it, I don't know where to find it, so I haven't used it before, but I can connect to the app and turn on my camera, and somebody on the other end who is live will look through the camera to help me find things or to help me read something, maybe a recipe on the box or something, or to help me read a label or whatever that might be. So it's kind of like someone's eyes for you to borrow, and it's really nice. Blind Square. So that's a one, it's a GPS software that blind people can use so that it would tell you, you know, what street is coming up, what street to turn, because Apple Maps software, it will, I keep saying software, application, it will take you there, but it won't tell you turn by turn necessary. And calculator, and HP Smart, that's how I can print something from my phone. Hourly chime, so that it goes on when I every hour, so I make a little beep, so that's good for me. Little Saigon, that's another Vietnamese radio. And Makeshift, that's a work software. Google Meet and Media Convert, so that it can convert MP4 into MP3, I think. Music, voice screen scanner. So that's a software that I can use to scan a page, and then it will turn into a text for me to read. Because when you scan something, it's just a picture, but that software, it can convert it for me. And yeah, I think that's pretty much that. And yeah, and typically, oh, there was an app that I also use as well. It's called AdGuard. That's really nice. AdGuard allows you to block out ads on your browser. So like say Safari or Chrome. So thank you very much for listening. And this is Quyn. This is Quyn Lê Empowered Living channel. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.